Hello and welcome everyone to the Company Chits Conversations. My name is Lakeisha Copeland and I am your host. And I'm so excited about today's guest. And before I get to my guest, I wanted to go over today's Company confession. My hands are diligent, therefore it brings me wealth. My guest today is a very special person, and she is none other than Miss Nicole. Nicole, are you here with us today?
I am. Thank you for having me.
Now, Nicole, I can talk about you, but I'm sure no one knows you better than you. So, can you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So again, thank you for having me here, Lakeisha. So I am a brand expert. My name is Nicole. You can see me on all social media handles as Nicole Perkins. As a brand expert, I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants get more visible on social media so that they can attract more clients and build a better brand. I have a team of multiple virtual assistants who are versed in all things digital marketing as well as branding. So we are a full service social media agency. Giving everything that entrepreneurs, business owners, even corporations need to get their brands out there and more visible.
Wow. So, how long have you been in this industry?
So I've actually come from a financial services background. So as a financial services background, I found myself helping not only those who are in business, but even in their personal life and their personal brand. So I would say altogether, it's been about a good 5 years where I was able to really tune in and just focus completely on branding. Just within the last year, I was able to complete my team as a social media agency. So I would say a good 5 years or so.
Wow. What made you make the switch? Like, say that I want to be a brand expert. What made you make that switch?
Well, as a financial services baby, which I call myself, I found myself either helping people make money, maintaining their money, or basically being the one to get the money back. Either way, I found myself in the realm and vision of money. But as I ran across all these different scenarios with people, bosses, clients, I noticed that their personal brand or even their brands in general, when it came to business, just didn't seem to fit. It just didn't look right. And so I said, you know what? I really want to know how I can help this because I have a knack for business. And I found when I started different businesses, I would do very well. And it wasn't just because of marketing. I actually knew how to brand myself very well. And I said, well, let me translate that to others. And I started working for people for free just to kind of see if I could kind of replicate and duplicate what I did for myself. Things started to take off, and I said, you know what? I think I can do this um, very well on a repetitive basis, and it went from there.
So people talk about branding a lot, and some
hmm
people think that it's a photo shoot or it's a logo. But can you just tell us in your own words what does that actually mean?
Yes, I mean it frustrates me so bad because in this industry, ever since I started, I know what the difference between branding and marketing is, but I see so many who are like, oh, I can brand you. And they literally think it's slapping a logo, having a business card, and a poster, and voila. But it is so much deeper than that. Branding is the message, it is the message that you are giving. I always use the example of, like, say, real estate, because I have a lot of real estate clients. But the difference is this, it's like you go past a house, you see a for sale sign, that's marketing. The essence of marketing, the root word is marketplace. So you see it's on the market. Okay, great. But once you walk in, that's what changes the game. That's what makes you say, you know what, I really want this house. I love how this look. I know how the foyer looks. I love, the bathroom, the layout. That's branding. Branding is what keeps you there. Branding is, what does this house say? Does the house say, hey, this is good for a young family? Oh, it's good for a bachelor. Maybe you got the single lady life, or you've got the older, nesting type of relationship, family there. All that whole house tells a story as to if it's a good fit. And that is the same thing when it comes to your brand. What is the story when they come to you? What can they walk into your house of a business and know exactly what you do at any given time?
So, how do you help people hone in on their unique message?
Absolutely. So the first thing I do as a brand expert, because I also do coaching, meaning like once you come into, um, I call my family, my social media agency family, we start working on who is it that you're trying to reach. In other words, who is this person that you can imagine yourself selling to? Who, what do they look like? What do they smell like? Where do they go? What is their hobbies? What is their pain? What is their issues? Why do you want to change their life? So to make you unique, I start thinking about who is the audience. Now you might hear it in technical terms. You hear target audience. I don't like to use a lot of jargon because people just don't get it. Really, target audience is, if you were to draw a picture on a construction paper or whatever the case may be, what does that person look like? What does that raving fan looks like? What does he or she need? And say for instance, if you are a cosmetologist and yet you want to really just focus on women who have issues with alopecia, what does she look like? Well, she probably wears a lot of wigs. Or you may notice that she doesn't really go out that often, or you'll notice that um, in executive or high positions, she's constantly touching her wig or her hair because she's a little low on self-esteem. You might notice on her social media that if she's in a picture with other people, she kind of hides, behind the scenes because she doesn't want anybody to notice. So you're looking at this character and you're like, yeah, that's the person I want to help. That is it. And so as a cosmetologist, we would create a message or start honing on your uniqueness where you would speak to that person. You would start begin making marketing content towards that individual alone. And that's how you create your uniqueness.
So, should your brand, like, it seems to me like your message, your brand, should be more about the customer and not about like you. Is would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, honey. Now, now I do say this. Sometimes you are the brand. Like for instance, if you are a motivational speaker, okay, although you have an audience of various different types of people, it's really hard for you to say, "Oh, that's my target audience," because there might be so many people to hear you speak. So you become the brand and you have to ask yourself, who do I want to be? And you might say, well, I want to be again, a motivational speaker and I want to
Mhm.
lift people up. So when you're branding yourself, you are now saying, hey, guess what? I encourage you, or I make sure that you can live your best life. You start creating content and marketing as to how you uplift people. So it really does depend on the type of business you have.
Wow, I think that's where a lot of confusion come from because people don't really understand branding, and then it's like, oh, I gotta brand myself. I gotta get new pictures every couple of months, and then it just depends on what you're offering. You agree?
Oh, absolutely. And it, like I said, it just burns me up when I see people just say, I'm branding, I'm rebranding myself. I got a new picture. And I'm like, but that picture tells us nothing. All it says is that you had a really good photographer, and that's great. And it doesn't do anything for us. But what I want to know, like for instance, when you think of Nike and you hear the term just do it, right?
Yes.
You immediately, everyone knows you're talking about Nike. That's how it should be in your brand. I'll actually be doing a podcast conference tomorrow, a virtual podcast conference, and I'll be actually, as a keynote speaker, actually speaking to potential podcasters who are trying to break into the scene. And that's one of the things that I'll be bringing out is the fact that when they hear your name, how do they associate you? Right? You can say TD Jakes. What do you think about Potter House?
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready, get ready. When you hear, and now he got his daughter Sarah.
Yeah.
Can you still think of her daddy, even when you hear Sarah, right? And
Yeah.
then, and then you got Chick-fil-A. What do you think
Yeah.
about great customer service? They'll jump over a fence to give you that chicken sandwich, girl.
My pleasure.
Yes. So that is the message, Lakeisha. That's what I want people to get across. It's not pictures. It's not just all the stuff is great. The aesthetics is wonderful. That's what makes people attracted to you. However, when they think about Lakeisha Copeland, they think about Nicole Perkins, what is the first thing that comes to their mind? And if people can't answer that question with you, you have not branded yourself properly.
Wow, that is so. It's so funny how you are able to really understand that. And like, yeah. So that was so insightful to me. So tell me after we brand ourselves, we know, who we're trying to reach. What is the next step?
The next step after that, now we come to the part that everybody knows about, the aesthetics, right? Ooh, the colors and all this stuff. Well, I will tell you this. I say, do not slap on a color palette that you don't see yourself using for the next 5 years.
Hmm.
In other words, no one should see you rebranding every 6 months. Every 6 months, oh, I'm rebranding myself. Well, now it's like, who are you? I can't
Yeah.
trust you because every 6 months you're like, now I'm an archaeologist. Girl, next month I'm going to medical school. I'm rebranding. And now this month, oh, y'all need to come to me because I'm a life coach. Oh, I'm running. Okay.
Right.
I'm running for the hills because I think you got some issues, some deep rooted issues that we're not aware of. And it's okay. Just get some help, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is this, you have to be consistent, baby. When you think of uh, Burger King and you think of McDonald's, girl, do you ever see them every 6 months saying, we rebranding in a sense where we're taking those golden arches and we're turning them upside down. It's a W today.
Right.
You would be like, are you serious? Matter of fact, people would get offended
I
because they
think
are used to that.
that's just like Twitter. Like now, like, oh, what's this X thing? Like I can't get with the
So
X.
angry. I'm so angry. And I'm glad you brought that up because you see how emotionally attached people are. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be coming out with something soon. It's just like a little news flash. And but anyways, I was having a talk with one of my friends, and we are talking about Kanye, honey. He's Ye now, right?
You're
Okay.
right.
That poor baby, okay? And how the brand is emotionally attached to your character and your behavior.
Yeah.
You can't think you're going to just put yourself out there, do anything you want to. People want to separate themselves from the brand. I call ghosting. They want to ghost themselves from their brand. Oh, I can do what I'm big and bad enough to do, whatever the case may be. And you're still going to buy my stuff. That's
Right.
not what that
Like
means.
he started losing all his contracts and everything.
Girl, even Adidas, remember he had the contract with
Yeah.
Adidas. And but
Right.
that goes much deeper because they were so concerned about that money, they didn't care that this man was suffering from mental illness.
Yeah. Exactly. They was
They
they were
just
trying to.
wanted that money,
Yeah.
and it
It's,
turned on them. Okay, and
right.
so the moral of the story is don't ever ghost yourself from your brand. You
Hmm.
and your brand are one. So if you
Right.
start acting crazy, Don't be surprised. Mess around and what? Okay.
And so, when people come to you, women come to you, do you feel that what do you see that they need the help with the most? Do you think like their belief is kind of hindering their success?
Lakeisha, honey, I love your questions. I mean, I need to just really, we need to just go on a road together because the questions you ask, and yes, I need people to ask me questions like this. Okay. So, this is the thing. Okay. People are all over the place, baby. I mean, when I get them, they don't have a real signature message. Okay.
Yeah.
I ask them, what is your I help statement? Oh, I help the homeless, and then I help my mama, and then I turn around and I help people to, look good in their clothes, and then I help them to look beautiful, and I'm like, what? So the biggest thing is that you have got, I always say, broad is broke.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I know people say, well, I'm so tired of hearing people say niche down, niche down, niche down. Well, take the word niche out of it if it offends you, and just think about something that you need to focus on. No one loves a jack of all trade and a master of none because that's what happens. You think that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and actually, that's not cute. What it
Yeah,
shows is that you don't have the capacity to focus or the longevity to focus on one thing for a long period of time, to see
right,
it through fruition, to see it successful. I'm not moving away from branding until
right.
I've reached a goal with it. And I know you people say, well, you should have multiple streams of income. Well, you can still have multiple streams of income with your brand. But I'm
Yeah,
talking about this 180 thing, right?
yeah.
You know, now you cutting hair and you know what I'm saying? You was six months
Yes,
ago.
like
You
that one thing you do can be multiple streams, not like I'm an architect or oh I want I
no,
want to be a
no,
pilot as well.
you don't have to do that, honey, to rebrand. It just means you go back to the drawing board and you say, "How can I make what I have better?"
Yeah,
Not how can I totally throw it out the window and start again, because guess what's going to happen 6 months from now, you're going to do the same thing because you haven't uh allowed your brand to grow and evolve. Do you know a lot of these people, like even with Amazon, Jeff Bezos, he
yeah,
garage for years.
yeah,
Do you understand me? Rejected for years.
right.
What if he just said, "Oh, the heck with this. I'm throwing it out the window." No, he stuck and he stayed with it until he reached his goal. And that's what you have to remember. Your brand is ever evolving, it's organic. And when you see it at a standstill, you start feeling like it ain't moving fast enough. It's not time for you to ditch it out the window.
Mhm.
It's time for you to go back and say, what is it about this brand that is stalling? Go back and do your homework. Go back and do your research. Sometimes it's not about what you're doing wrong, it just means you're not doing enough of what's right.
Right. Or you just might not know what to do. And so
Hmm.
you, you might need someone like you, a coach or someone to guide you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I also created my social media agency, because I found that entrepreneurs, now we got technology. Let's throw that wrench in there, right?
Yeah.
We got technology, and see, it used to be good enough to just, put that poster on the tree and like, I got a party at my house and everybody showed up.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
You're right, because there's so many. I remember you could just put a post in the group and people just sign up.
That's it.
Just put your
That's
little
all you had to
affiliate link.
do. Girl, I love the myth. I just create a Facebook group and they will come.
Yeah.
Ooh, boo. I bet all of them are so disappointed. There are some people who got massive Facebook groups, but honey, that took a while. And guess
Yeah.
what? You can't guarantee that that's going to be your story. What I always say is this: you have to come to a point where you have support. I have this mantra on my post that says, "I have the team that knows the tech, so you can have time to be great." And that
Hmm.
was important to me because there's three pillars that entrepreneurs are struggling with: team, tech, and time. They
Yeah.
might they might have the technology, they might have know how to, find their way around technology, but then they don't have the time and the
Right.
support, the team to scale the business, not just stay where they're at. Or they might have the time, but they don't know nothing about technology. And again, they
Right.
don't have the support to scale them. Or they might have a team, but because
Right.
the team is not educated enough in technology, they don't have the time to go and teach them so that their business can scale.
Right. So true. So true.
So I created my agency to do everything, where the only thing you have to focus on is being great to your client. And of course, I do strategy sessions with you. So you're going to make that happen either way.
Right. So it's like a win-win. You can't lose.
Absolutely not. I've had clients come like, just lately, we've had a lot of real estate clients. And I had one client, she didn't have a client in a year, like
Wow.
legit, nothing happening. After 2 weeks, we branded her. She closed her first deal
Wow, that's amazing.
after 2 weeks. And these are stories I get all the time.
Yeah. So it just seems like branding is like that missing piece, even
It
to the
is.
puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because marketing, people get it mixed up.
Yeah.
And when I tell you it burns me up when I see these, I know I keep saying that, girl, because it do. I mean, I seen this one lady, and God bless her. Um, I don't think she was stalking me, but I kind of feel like she was. Like I'm with Lakeisha Copeland, so I can talk like this. But this is my
You're
point.
right.
Okay, so she was doing some other stuff, right? All of a sudden, she's like, I'm a branding coach." I thought, hmm? Hey, look, there's enough pie to eat for everybody, boo. So I'm not saying I'm not the first, I won't be the last, so I'm not going there. But I was just like, oh, okay. She's like, I'm gonna make some business cards for you, and I'm gonna get you a photographer. And oh, I got so angry. I said, see, this is what people think branding is. So she's going around taking people money to get them a professional photographer business card. And people like, oh, I need that. No, you need a message. We need to know what you do
Right.
and who you helping. Is your message gonna outlive you?
Right. Right.
Oh, girl, I
Exactly.
was so angry. I was so angry. And I was just like, okay, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And but that's what's out there now. My job is to demystify all that. My job is when someone comes to me, they're like, wow, I've had people say this, I wish I met you 5 years ago.
Right.
I don't know why five's the magic number, why they say that, but they do.
Something very traumatic happened 5 years ago.
Something, it's just they'll say five. I was like, wait, girl, I'm so nosy. But hey, I'm glad you think of it that way.
Yeah. And it and since I know I'm with Nicole, so I can say this. I was gonna say this. I was like, some people just buy into your services just so they can be nosy.
Girl, and I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm so okay with it because I feel this way. I always want someone to walk away full. If they come to me, or even if they try to mimic me, um, if they walk away and their customer or their client has been helped because of it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
That's the point. But you shouldn't be in business just to serve you.
Right.
Your clients should really walk away full. They should walk away and say, wow. They really should have a wow coming out their mouth. Rather, in their customer service, we have a 5-star review rating. Our customer service is just, girl, if I was a Chick-fil-A restaurant, they would be running because my customer service is the bomb, girl. It's the bomb, diggity. I mean, I'm sitting up there, I'm like, how's it going? I pay attention to my clients if they not feeling well, because I'm on social media. If they post something like, oh, pray for me or I'm sad, and they one of my clients, I'm not like, oh well, I got paid. I'm like, I hope it
Right.
works out for you. Too bad. No, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? What can I do to help?
Yeah. And that just made me think like people have to remember like in business or wherever you work, like people are human beings. I think sometimes people are so busy chasing the dollar that they don't realize the people you're serving are real people.
Yes, yes. And entrepreneurs, they deal a lot with depression.
Yeah.
They deal a lot with depression. So a lot of times when entrepreneurs come to me, they're very depressed. They're depressed because they feel like they have been doing everything, literally pulling their hair out, and nothing's happening, nothing's moving. And they're sometimes at the verge of literally giving up and going back to a 9 to 5 if they've been doing it full time.
Yeah, exactly.
So my job is to rescue them. My job is to say, hold up, don't, they throwing that towel out, I'm throwing it right back at them. Get back in the ring. We're going to make this happen.
Right, absolutely. And so if someone wanted to become a client of yours, where can we find you again?
Absolutely. So you can reach me on all social medias, Nicole J. Perkins, Nicole J. Perkins. On all social medias, Nicole J. Perkins. I also have a website, www.virtuouslybranding.com. That's www.virtuouslybranding.com. And it just kind of gives you an overview of everything that we do. But on Insta, I'm on TikTok. Although my team has been telling me get on TikTok more, I'm gonna say I'm trying, y'all, because I feel like I'm just not TikToking right. So, even though I own a social media agency, my team literally tells me it's like, why do we feel like we have to, bribe you with some angel cake to go on TikTok? So y'all, if y'all go to my TikTok, it's because if I'm there, it's because I went kicking and screaming, and I just ain't TikToking right. I tried to do a funny TikTok. It was not funny, girl. I got 200. I was doing something, but I was doing nothing. Um, but hey, hit me up on Instagram, definitely Facebook, LinkedIn, Nicole J Perkins, and yeah, holler at your girl. I can definitely message you back, and then we will start the process. I get to know you. I do a virtual coffee chat with you. I don't just take anybody. I've been blessed enough where I don't need clients like that. You
Mhm.
know, we
Yes.
have to be a good fit. Why? Because I'm in it to win it, and I want you to win. So, yeah, I am. I'm going to talk to you and get to know your personality and see how we can make this happen, make this vision come to life.
And and if you had one last thing you would like to share with our audience, just to sum up what we've been talking about today, what would that be?
Consistency. No matter where you think your brand is, if you feel like you have to rebrand, you have to start all over again, that's fine. If you feel like you need to make a change, that's okay as well. But consistency, do not give up no matter how hard it gets. If you have to go to a 9 to 5 and do it part time just to keep it going, do it. If you need to get help, do it, but don't give up whatever you do. Branding is all about the message of what you are displaying in front of your audience. And you don't want to give up on them. You want to be consistent so they can hear your message because it might help somebody one day.
Wow, this has been an amazing conversation. I had so much fun and I so learned so much and gained so much more insight. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Lakeisha. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.